think I have the highest score for a single week, isn't it? Or did Sam do better than me?
No. He scored almost 140 points.
139. So.
Oh, week 4 is in the books. And if you think your season's cooked, well then you might need to think again. 'Cause we're 4 weeks down and 10 to go before we see who wins it all and where the trophy will reside. Now the Rams are good and the Bills are not, and John Gruden scratches his head and thought, I gave Mac away. Boy, can that man play? And the Bears are now at 3-1, and the football in Chicago's fun. And looking back on the setting sun, the day Fitzmagic died, and we were singing bye-bye to that Tampa Bay guy. No playoffs, maybe layoffs, and they're looking for something. Then good old boys is drinking whiskey and rye, singing.
This is the week I beat everybody.
The Windy City League Fantasy Football Show, Week 5.
Yes. Week 5.
What a week it was. Great Bears win. Just to get things, make everybody feel really good. And now, to start things off, we'll do a quick recap of week 4.
Our winners were Jameson, Michaela, Matt, Sam, and Jen. I had 157.1 points, and that's the most anyone has scored this season. So I had my boom week. So, yay.
Yeah. I managed to squeak out a win, even though I definitely didn't play a very good roster. Was looking really shaky there at the end, but managed to pull it out. So that leaves us at a pretty even split. We have
2 at 4-0, 2 at 3-1, 2 at 2-2, 2 at 1-3, and 2 at 0-4. So it pretty much couldn't be more split. So, but the good news is when we get down to our matchups for this week, someone is going to win.
who hasn't won before.
Someone's going to win.
So
Someone.
So why don't we move on to, I think, your favorite segment. No, it's my favorite segment.
Everybody was thinking that they were going to play the wrong quarterback this week. Matt played Tannehill, who got...
He managed to play almost an entire game and scored 0 points.
0 points.
New
Meanwhile,
England came out of nowhere and decided that they want to play football this season.
Meanwhile, Goff.
Yeah, Jared Goff, who was playing against the Minnesota Vikings, scored 39 points, setting records, career highs in yardage and touchdowns in a single night.
Mm-hmm.
So the Rams are looking really, really good.
And he was on your bench.
And he was on my bench. I gave way too much credit to the Minnesota Vikings defense. They do not appear to be the team they were last year.
Mm-hmm.
So.
They don't. Sue also played the wrong quarterback. Jameson played Mahomes, who has been rolling on a train. But your boy Troops.
Yeah, Trubisky not to be outdone
By
by
Goff.
Goff setting career highs. Trubisky set franchise records with 6 touchdowns in one game, which was a record that was standing from the 1930s, I think. So
For the Bears, yeah.
yes, for the Bears.
Yeah.
So pretty impressive week overall.
This is my favorite segment. We've kind of been talking, obviously, this was the week for quarterbacks.
Just not the ones anybody played.
So, Trubisky had a great week. Goff had a great week. The Rams wide receivers along that line had a great week. My personal shout out for booms were my former UGA players. Both Nick Chubb and Sony Michel both had breakout weeks and both got their first touchdowns of the year for their respective teams. So that was kind of fun to see because Gurley got a touchdown as well. So that was all like the last 3 big running backs for Georgia all got touchdowns this week. So that was my feel-good story since the Falcons lost again.
Well, one other big boom that you kind of left off there were some other running backs. Alvin Kamara scored huge this week. He had 30-some points.
He did.
And Zeke Elliott finally had a week.
Mm-hmm.
He scored 30 points himself too. So lots of big numbers this week from guys that were expected to put up big numbers. So
yeah,
that's good if you've got those guys.
Yep. So my busts that I had were basically just Tampa Bay and the Vikings. They both kind of just fell off. Just fell off.
Yeah,
for sure.
Fitzmagic did die.
Fitzmagic
They
died.
put in Winston, and he is no better.
Nope.
So he got a touchdown, but they finished with only 10 points in the whole game.
It was a garbage time touchdown, really.
Yeah. And the Vikings defense, they allowed 38 points.
It was -9, thankfully, on my bench, but -9.
They scored -9 points, so they need to pull themselves together.
And then Lamar Miller had a bust week, according to the legal pad analysis.
Yeah, he left the game with an injury too, so he's don't know what's going on there. Houston's kind of in a rut.
Yes,
I don't even know. Did they even pull out the win?
They did not.
They did not. So they're 0-4 right now. So
and that leads into kind of along with that to our big outs. Was not only Lamar Miller but also Will Fuller was hurt.
Yeah.
Gronk left the game, possibly injured. Tyler Eifert really messed up his leg. That was painful to watch. He's a great guy. He's just continually getting hurt.
Yeah, the Zach Miller injury last year was pretty gruesome and hard to watch. I think this one beats that one out. Do not Google that. Don't look at the video. I think they tried to stop.
They tried to stop Red Zone. I was watching Red Zone, and they cut to the game, and it was just of him laying there. But the way that he's laying there, you can tell his leg is just not laying on an angle that it should be. So then the NFL Red Zone producers were like, cut away. We don't want to show that. We want to warn everyone. So, then they did show it for everyone that wants to see that. But, so, yeah, they tried to cut away because it was pretty bad. And Fournette got hurt again, or left the game again. So that's starting to be a bit concerning.
He re-aggravated that injury that he's had. So, yeah, tough news, tough break for those guys. Because those are all players that are on someone's roster. So
I think those were all, well, maybe not Eifert, but all the rest of those are starters, not just on rosters, starters. So big outs, lives up to its name. So looking forward to this.
Well, there's no sponsor to this week's prediction. It is the Sudarium Divino, and yes, you're going to have to Google it. The winners for Week 5, based on my analysis, will be Samuel, Matt, Michaela, Lindsay, and Jen. So next week, you'll be able to mock me if I was wrong or praise me if I was right.
More games left.
We did want to mention that there are the buys this week are the Bears and the Bucks. So you guys will just have to watch some other game.
I'm just going to do things around the house on Sunday. I don't need to watch football. No, it's, if you've got players on those rosters, I definitely need to look to swapping them out.
So the matchups this week are Jen versus Craig, Sam versus Jameson, Matt versus Sue, Michaela versus Austin, and there's going to be a sister showdown. So somebody is going to lose their goose egg. They're going to go up to a win.
Yes.
So that's between the sisters. So that's that's all we have this week. We're kind of rushing this one.
Yeah, as you know, our little guy is...
Our guest appearance is going to be a insert of a picture of sad little pumpkin boy.
With his pumpkin cast. Because he broke his arm. On
Sunday.
On about 3 places.
1 to 3 places.
Yeah,
Yes.
so...
The feel-good part of that story is, for anybody that knows me, I called him Pumpkin before he was ever born. I've had a few people in my family with the nickname Pumpkin, and it just kind of resonated with me. So I called him Pumpkin forever before he was born, and now that he's been around. And so I thought it was kind of fitting that, like, his first broken bone, they did a pumpkin design. So
has nothing to do with the fact that it's Halloween.
yeah. So all right, well, hopefully everybody has a good week. Don't forget to switch your players out for buys and injuries, and good luck.
That's all, folks.